Hello champions, Miss Tilly here. I'm going to talk to you a little about our eukaryotic cells. These are typical plant and animal cells. We also have protists and fungi that are eukaryotic cells, meaning that they have a membrane-bound nucleus and a lot of different organelles to them. Our prokaryotes are bacteria. They don't have a membrane-bound nucleus. Their genetic material just floats freely in the cytoplasm, and they don't have quite as many of these organelles that a typical animal, plant cell, or fungi or protist would have. So let's talk a little bit about the organelles. First of all, this is the nucleus, and the nucleus contains genetic material, the DNA. And the DNA codes for proteins. So there's different parts that would help unravel that DNA and help code for the proteins. This right here is our endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. Now this one is rough ER because it has ribosomes attached to it. This one right here is smooth ER. It doesn't have the ribosomes attached to it. The ribosomes are little kind of roundish looking organelles that help unzip the DNA, help unzip the genetic material to synthesize or make proteins. This organelle here is a mitochondrion, or plural is mitochondria. This is what we call the powerhouse of the cell. It's where sugars are broken down to help make ATP, to help make energy for the cell. This right here is our Golgi body, or Golgi apparatus. This is where proteins are packaged to be used by the cell or to be transported outside the cell. Now, these little guys here are vacuoles, which are storage areas. We also have lysosomes, which are digestive sacs. They would break down worn out cell parts, and they could even break down the entire cell if needed. This outer coating is the cell membrane. It regulates what gets in and out of the cell. Animal cells do not have a cell wall, so you won't see a cell wall for the animal cells. Now this is just a generic or typical animal cell. There are other organelles inside there, but these are some of the main big basic ones inside a eukaryotic animal cell. Now down here we have a eukaryotic plant cell, very similar to an animal cell, but there are a few differences. So we do have the nucleus, the membrane-bound nucleus with the genetic material. We have our ER, or endoplasmic reticulum, both rough and smooth, that transport materials around the cell. We have ribosomes that are going to help make proteins. We have our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. Or mitochondrion is singular. But we have some extra stuff too. This right here is a chloroplast. This is where photosynthesis takes place. It has a pigment inside of it called chlorophyll, a green pigment, which helps take sunlight and produce the sugars that the plant needs. And then that plant can break down those sugars in a process called cellular respiration. So this is a chloroplast filled with chlorophyll, something that an animal cell does not have. This outer covering, yes, a plant cell does have a cell membrane, but it also has a cell wall, which is a rigid cellulose layer that helps protect and support the plant. So extra organelles that a plant cell has that an animal cell doesn't have is a chloroplast and a cell wall. One of the things you'll also notice is that the vacuole, the storage area or storage sac in a plant cell, tends to be bigger than the vacuoles in an animal cell. These vacuoles also help store water and food materials, and they help support the plant. They do have Golgi bodies, which help package proteins, and they have a lot of the other organelles that an animal cell will have, but they have some extras and some differences. That includes a chloroplast filled with chlorophyll, where photosynthesis takes place, a cell wall, and larger vacuoles. They are still eukaryotic cells. They do still have all those organelles that a plant and animal cell will have, as well as fungi and protists. Remember the prokaryotes, the simpler cells with just genetic material floating in the cytoplasm, is our bacteria. So that will help you a little bit with your virtual cell, the virtual lab, and just learning about cells. So if you have questions, please email me. I hope this was helpful. So have a great day. I miss you.